it is 9 p.m. in Arta. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight's headlines, we have the Somali religious reject Israeli recognitions of the Somaliland region. And Saudi Arabia welcomes the holding of an inclusive Southern Conference in Riyadh. For the international scene, Israeli decisions banning the activities of dozens of international humanitarian organizations in the Gaza Strip takes effect. The Prime Minister of the Federal Republic of Somalia, Hamza Abdi Barre, concluded the proceeding of the Heritage Institute conference held in the city of Dushamareb, where he delivered a speech addressing the positions of the Somali government regarding the recent development related to Israeli recognitions of the Somaliland regions in the northwestern area of the country. The Prime Minister clarified the official position of the federal government, affirming its rejection of any step that undermines the sovereignty of the Federal Republic of Somalia and the unity of its territory, stressing that these issues constitute national constants that are not subject to compromise. In his speech, he also touched on the security situations and the challenges facing the country, explaining the factors related to the attacks that targeted certain areas and reaffirming the federal government's commitment to continue its efforts to strengthen security and stability and to defend independence and national unity in accordance with the constitutions and applicable laws. At the conclusion of the conference, a press statement addressing this development was issued and read by the Deputy Director of the Heritage Institute, Mr. Abdurrashid Ismail. The religious of the Federal Republic of Somalia expressed their rejections and condemnations of Israeli recognitions of the Somaliland region, affirming that this region is an integral part of the territory of the Federal Republic of Somalia. They stressed that any attempt to recognize any region or entity outside the Somali constitutional framework constitutes a blatant violation of the country's sovereignty and national unity, warning of the political and security repercussions that may result from such initiative. In addition to the risks of foreign interference, the religious leaders emphasized that preserving the territorial unity of Somalia is a national and religious duty, calling on the Somali people to remain vigilant and united and to reject any actions that could undermine the cohesion of the state and its institutions. They also called for addressing national issues through dialogue and consultations in accordance with the constitutions and existing laws, stressing the importance of unity in confronting the challenges facing the country in order to safeguard its stability and sovereignty. The Republic of Djibouti welcomes the call by His Excellency Dr. Rashad Al-Alimi, Chairman of the Presidential Leadership Council of Yemen, to convene an inclusive conference in Riyadh to discuss equitable solutions to the southern Yemeni questions. It affirms that this call represents an important step towards strengthening national dialogue and achieving consensus among all southern groups, thereby contributing to the search for peaceful and lasting solutions that guarantee the stability of the brotherly Yemen and the unity of its citizens. Djibouti also expressed its deep appreciation for the swift response of the brotherly Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and its full readiness to host this crucial conference, which demonstrates its unwavering commitment to supporting the security and stability of Yemen. The Republic of Djibouti emphasized the importance of the constructive and effective participation of all southern groups in this conference, with the aim of serving the interests of the Yemeni groups in this conference, with the aim of serving the interests of the Yemeni people and preserving the unity of the countries and the integrity of its territory. It also reaffirms the need to respect the outcomes of the inclusive national dialogue as the most appropriate and consensual framework for achieving lasting political solutions. Djibouti calls on all Yemeni parties to refrain from any unilateral measures or actions that could jeopardize the chance of a just and inclusive political solution, and warns against any escalations that could lead to a descent into chaos. The Republic of Djibouti strongly supports dialogues as a means to guarantee security and stability in Yemen, and firmly believes that regional and international cooperation is key to achieving this goal and ensuring stability in the region itself. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia welcomed the request by His Excellency Dr. Rashad Mohammed Alami, Chairman of the Yemen's Presidential Leadership Council, to organize a comprehensive conference in Riyadh, bringing together all concerned southern parties to engage in dialogue and seek fair solutions to the southern issue. This position comes in response to the request of the chairman of the Presidential Leadership Group and is in line with the statement issued by the Minister of Foreign Affairs on December 30, 2025, which affirmed that the southern issue is a just cause with the historical and social dimensions, and that its resolutions can only be achieved through dialogue within the framework of a comprehensive political settlement. In Yemen, the kingdom indicate that this initiative stems from the strength of the fraternal relations between the two brotherly countries and their shared interests imposed by the current circumstances, as well as the kingdom's ongoing effort to support the security and stability of the Republic of Yemen and to create a conducive environment for constructive dialogue. Saudi Arabia called on all southern groups to actively participate in this conference with the aim of achieving a comprehensive vision for fair solutions to the southern issue that meet the legitimate aspirations of the people of the South within the framework of an inclusive political process that contributes to Yemen's security and stability. The Minister of Justice and Prison Affairs in charge of human rights, Ali Hassan Bahdoun, inaugurated the court of the first instances and personal studies court serving the regions of Obok and Tajura on Wednesday, December 31, 2025. This new judicial complex represents a decisive turning point in strengthening the regional judicial systems, improving access to justice for residents of northern areas. The minister was accompanied by a large delegation that included the public prosecutor, the president of the Court of First Instances, the president of the Personal Studies Court, the president of Human Rights Commissions, the director general of the correctional institutions, his technical advisor Mohammed Adan Jama, Ferdousa Mohammed Bougore, director of communication, and Mr. Sneem Abdallah Abdo, director of judicial services. Upon arrival at the site, the ministerial delegation received a warm welcome by the prefect of the Obok region, Musa Adan Migane, in the presence of the representative of civil, military, and traditional authority of the region. A guided tour of the building allowed them to familiarize themselves with this new regional infrastructure, where Mr. Saada Muhammad Senalasie, president of the court of the first instance in the northern region, Mr. Almi Roble Atiye, president of the personal studies, and Mehdi Abdi Rage, public prosecutor in the northern regions, have begun their duties. The minister praised the quality of the facilities, which will enable citizens of the regions to access local judicial services. This inauguration comes within the framework of the government's policy aimed at decentralizing public services in bringing services justice closer to citizens throughout the country. For his part, the prefect of the Obok region, Musa Adan Migane, expressed his pleasure at the welcoming the Minister of Justice, Ali Hassan Bahdoun, who inaugurated a court in the Obok region for the first time. He noted that this court represents a valuable addition to the region as it falls within the policy of decentralizing government services laid down by His Excellency the President of the Republic after services had previously been concentrated in limited locations. He pointed out that the presence of this court in the region will facilitate many matters, particularly with regard to logistics and financial resources required to transport individuals before the judiciary, adding, today, thank God, we now have a court operating in our region, and this is an important achievement for all citizens. He added that, God willing, other services will be added in the near future to strengthen the decentralization process, which has already begun and is moving forward. He concluded his remarks by thanking all those present and wishing everyone success. And now we follow this report highlighting the services of the Ministry of Justice in the country.
In Djibouti, the justice system is undergoing a remarkable transformation. From the moment he assumed leadership of the country, the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, launched an extensive initiative to modernize our judicial apparatus. It was in this spirit that in November 2000, and at the initiative of the head of state, our country organized the National Conference on Justice. This date marked a decisive turning point for the Djiboutian justice system. Through the holding of this national conference, Djibouti demonstrated its determination to establish a modern, independent, and accessible judicial institution. This national consultation, bringing together judges, lawyers, academics, and civil society, laid that foundation of a profound renewal. This was an ambitious roadmap focused on modernizing legal texts and procedures, strengthening the guarantees of judicial independence, professionalizing judicial personnel, and improving working conditions. This initial momentum generated a dynamic of continuous progress whose most significant achievements are now flourishing. The first pillar of the transformation lies in the modernization of the legal and judicial framework. Djibouti has successfully undertaken the updating of its legal arsenal, bringing it closer to international standards. Constitutional revisions and adoption of organic laws have consolidated the foundations of judicial independence. But this goes hand in hand with an enhanced judiciary. This is why the recognition of the essential role of judges translated into a comprehensive policy of professional revolution, making the magistracy a career of excellence. This momentum was accompanied by a notable increase in staffing. The number of judges has risen considerably, as has that of justice actuaries, including clerks, lawyers, notaries, and bailiffs. Significant efforts have been made to improve the material and social conditions of judges, including salary increases and the creation of an environment conducive to the calm exercise of their functions. The rehabilitation of the Palace of Justice is another major step forward, providing a more modern, secure, and accessible setting. This renewed infrastructure facilitates the proper conduct of judicial procedures and improves the working conditions of legal professionals. It reflects the authority's desire to strengthen judicial independence and guarantee better access to justice for all. Another major achievement is the National School of Judicial Studies, created in 2020. It embodies the forward-looking vision of judicial reform and represents a strategic investment for the future. This school allows Djibouti to train on its own soil a new generation of judges, clerks, and justice actuaries, benefiting from both theoretical and practical training perfectly suited to the local legal context. The school imparts fundamental principles of ethics, professional conduct, and integrity, which underpin the legitimacy of the judicial institutions. It trains competent professionals who are also guardians of Republican values. By ensuring high-level training within its territory, Djibouti asserts its judicial sovereignty and positions itself as a credible actor in the regional judicial sphere. As of the National Human Rights Commission of Djibouti, created in April 2008, it plays an important role in the protection and promotion of human rights. It reflects the political will of the head of state, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, to make human rights a priority. Its mission is to protect and promote human rights throughout the national territory. This includes handling complaints, investigating violations, visiting places of detention, preparing annual reports on the human rights situation, and advising the government. The CNDH also aims to raise public awareness and collaborate with international institutions to strengthen the protection of fundamental rights. Established as an autonomous jurisdiction in January 2008, the Court of Auditors is the supreme institution responsible for overseeing public finances in the Republic of Djibouti. It ensures the legality, transparency, and proper use of state resources. Built on a clear vision and a strong will to modernize public governance, the Court of Auditors stands as an essential pillar of the rule of law. Through its mission of financial justice, it supports to public authorities in managing state finances and the strength of its studies and audits and recommendations. The court constitutes constitutes a key pillar of good governance and an essential lever for improving public performance. Strengthened by its reforms and recent successes, the Court of Auditors continues to uphold its mission, serving the public interest, reinforcing citizen trust, and accompanying the state of its path towards modern, responsible, and transparent management. By actively engaging in regional and international networks of supreme audit institutions, the Court of Auditors of Djibouti contributes to elevating the nation's prestige on the global stage, promoting the values of rigorous, responsible, and excellence-driven governance. The progress achieved since 2000 outlines the contours of a modern, efficient, and citizen-oriented justice system in Djibouti. The continuation of ongoing reforms, particularly in the areas of access to justice and infrastructure modernization, opens promising perspectives. The Djiboutian justice system, strengthened by its accomplishments and supported a constant political will, continues its modernization process with confidence and determination. It is gradually affirming itself as an essential pillar of the nation's harmonious development and the protection of citizens' rights. It embodies an institution in full transformation, carrying hope and confidence for a strong and promising judicial future in Djibouti.
The Minister of Environment, Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa Hilem, visited the Arta's region to launch an important project in the village of Laita, which involves providing households in rural areas with improved cooking stoves. This project aims to curb illegal logging in addition to supporting various villages across the country by providing an environmental friendly alternative. Through this initiative, the project seeks to raise awareness among the most vulnerable groups about the effects of deforestation and climate change in general, while providing them with the healthy equipment. Thanks to this project, 3,000 improved cooking stoves will be distributed throughout the country, along with the reusable shopping bags made by women from the National Associations of Humanitarian Producers. Ultimately, this initiative by the Ministry of Environment will contribute to achieving national goals to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and improve air quality in order to protect public health. On this occasion, the Minister of Environment, Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa Hilem, delivered a speech in which he pointed out that the primary objectives of this initiative is to reduce illegal logging and combat deforestation. He continued by saying, through this effort, the organizers of the initiative hope to raise awareness among the most vulnerable groups about the danger of deforestation and to make them understand that climate change is a reality that cannot be ignored and that preserving nature has become an impressive necessity for all humanity. There are also plans to expand these initiatives to include all remote villages across the country, enabling women and families to actively participate in the efforts to combat deforestation. As part of the implementation, more than 3,000 improved stoves will be distributed nationwide, accompanied by reusable bags handmade by women from the National Agency for Persons with Disability. During these distributions, training sessions and practical demonstrations will be provided to beneficiaries to ensure the optimal use of these tools. Hundreds of citizens gathered at the CDC of the neighborhood 5, District 5 to support the candidacy of the President of the Republic, Ismail Margeli, in the upcoming presidential elections, and they renew their confidence in him. This occasion provided an opportunity for residents of the 5th District to send a strong message reflecting the participant desire to support the candidacy of President Ismail Margeli. Speakers in their remarks highlighted the achievement accomplished by His Excellency in efforts aimed at achieving sustainable development in the country. The event included a cultural segment during which national artists presented popular songs blending traditions and modernity, in addition to national anthems and poems addressing to values of peace, stability, hard work, love of the countries, and the importance of preserving national unity. The use of Arta's region organized a ceremony to express their full support for His Excellency the President of the Republic Ismail Omar Guelleh in preparation for the presidential election scheduled for 2026. The event witnessed a large turnout reflecting the commitment of all age groups to the President's visions and his development effort. The ceremony was attended by a number of official figures, including the Minister of Energy, Yunus Ali Geddi, Member of Parliament, Omar Waberi Malo, the President of the Regional Council, Almi Buh Goudade. Their participation underscored the importance of this gathering as a clear message of unity and solidarity in support of President Guelleh. Members and supporters of the Popular Rally for Progress Party also attended the event, reaffirming their commitment to President Guelleh's plan. During the ceremony, encouraging speeches were delivered recalling the achievements of His Excellency the President of the Republic, highlighting the future prospect of the national development process under his wise leadership. The youth of Arta renewed their commitment to continue supporting the President's initiatives and to actively participate in preparations for the upcoming elections in a strong message reflecting their determination to contribute to the development of the nation and to enhance its prosperity.
shanteena degmo dalku kala baxay gobolkii u dambeeyay u da'yaraa Ismaaciil degmadaadi weeyaan ku tiirso artiyo dameer joog waa deegaankii lagu magac daray shanteena degmo dalku kala baxay gobolkii u dambeeyay u da'yaraa Ismaaciil degmadaadi weeyaan ku tiirso artiyo dameer joog waa deegaankii lagu magac daray
The Ministry of Women and Family Affairs held a workshop in Monday, December 29, 2025 at the People's Palace on the national policy related to children. The event was chaired by Ms. Anissa Hassan Bahdoun, Secretary General of the Ministry of Women and Family, and brought together all stakeholders responsible for implementing the national children's policy, particularly from the education, health, and justice sector. This workshop held a continuation of previous initiatives aimed to assess progress made in implementing the indicator of the national children's policy, identifying the challenges faced in 2025 and develop practical solutions to address them. The primary objective of this strategy is to enhance human capital development and help children reach to their full potential from early childhood. During the event, Anissa Hassan Bahdoun emphasized the great importance of this workshop in ensuring the smooth implementation of the national education program. She stated that cooperation among these different sectors is essential to ensure accurate monitoring of the national education policy and to ensure that our actions strive to achieve a common goal, the well-being of every child in Djibouti. The National Brigade of Ali Sabih, in cooperation with the regional security forces, carried out a decisive operation to combat drug trafficking on December 27, 2025 at 3 p.m. in Obole area. During this patrol, 3 foreigners were arrested in flagrant delicto while transporting cannabis. They were immediately detained and taken to the brigade headquarters where they were placed in custody. During their statement, the suspect admitted to the charges against them, stating that their intention was to sell the drugs in the capital market. After the investigation was completed, the suspects were brought before the court on December 29, 2025 to be held accountable for their actions. For the international scene, Africa is taking another step towards achieving its economic and financial independence with the launch of an ambitious project to establish an African gold bank in Cairo. On December 30, 2025, the Central Bank of Egypt and the African Export-Import Bank, Afreximbank, signed a memorandum of understanding marking the start of this strategic initiative. This future institution aims to structure and revitalize Africa's gold sector, leveraging the continent's immense potential as it ranks among the world's leading gold producers. The project is not limited to enhancing local values additions for African gold, but also seeks to contribute to the continent's financial independence by creating a regulatory and investment instrument specifically designated to meet the needs of African countries. Egyptian authorities and Afreximbank affirm that the establishment of this bank will strengthen Africa's position in the global gold market while encouraging innovative financial mechanisms to support the continent's sustainable economic development. And an Israeli ban on dozens of international humanitarian organizations operating in Gaza has come into the forces. An Israeli decision banning the activities of dozens of international humanitarian organizations working in the Gaza Strip entered into force at the beginning of the new year, raising serious concern among the United Nations and the international humanitarian community. Israeli authorities had previously announced their intention to revoke the operating licenses of 37 international relief organizations, alleging their failure to comply with the new verification rules. Israeli claims that these measures aim to prevent Hamas from exploiting humanitarian aid. The United Nations and many international humanitarian organizations have categorically rejected these accusations, calling on the Israeli authorities to reverse the decisions. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.